The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Long before the sects divided, there was the enveloping darkness. It was in this dark humanity learned to trust the light, to run from shadows, and most importantly, to fear.
Brutality and superstition walked hand in hand in this dark time, but also hope. Hope that the heroes of this age could hold back the monsters and illuminate the path through the shadows.
The children of Cain are no different. Some run from the shadows, some turn to the light, and some become the monsters of legend passed down from one hearth to another.
Their story is one of loss, one of struggle, and one of death. For what can survive in the wake of those that cannot die?
This is what it means to be a myth made flesh. This is what it means to be a vampire in the Dark Ages.
Welcome to our Vampire Dark Ages stream. We here at McStabber Studios understand that some of the subjects that come up during this chronicle are problematic by modern standards. Our goal is to handle these kinds of situations in a manner that does not directly or indirectly glorify these kinds of actions. While we understand that we are playing in a world of monsters, that does not mean we must be the monsters ourselves. Please also be aware, none of our cast are experts in history. That means there will be some deviations between the world timeline and the vampiric world. You can go ahead and chalk that up to the Cainite influence on the mortals around them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Vampire Dark Ages Glimpses of History. I am, of course, the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I'll be playing Elena Thorndaughter of Clan Lasombra, who is very, very pissed off right now.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him, and I will be playing Brother Miguel of the Gangrel, who, despite having his fortitude, still has a whole bunch of aggravated damage. Something about drinking the blood of someone with true faith. I don't know what happened. I don't buy it.
I'm Gina Bonish, and I'm playing Peregrine Gwen McSullivan of Clan Assamite, who's playing a Toreador, and fucking rats.
And hello, I'm Maddox, and I'll be playing Snatcher of Clan Nosferatu. He would have been Augustine de la Cruz, but he is not with us this evening.
Yeah, it seems Augustine has been taken. Taken so much, his spot is empty tonight. I guess we're going to find out, maybe, what happened to him. When we were last with this group of Cainites, they went to their meeting with the... to see how the rat can negotiate it with the Shadow Lords. Really, it was more like a meeting where the rat can explain that while the Shadow Lords were there, they were murdering their kinfolk and anyone left behind at their sept. So, or at their cairn. So I'm sure that's not a big deal. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. And, well, in that same process, they went after one of Snatcher's ghouls. Peregrine had her own things to deal with, which I'm sure she'll explain here when she pops in. And then, well, they finally got their hands onto the Inquisitor. Inquisitor that was hurling fire, throwing illusions, and even managed to dominate or magically ensorcel Bodine, which is one of Elena's ghouls.
Bodan.
Bodan, who was summarily eaten for that transgression. But after the fight, Augustine was taken, pulled down by the shadows into the ground itself. No one knows where he is. And when we're opening up tonight, it's the same night. They are standing in a church where they've defeated this Inquisitor, and Miguel drank the true faith's blood, which is still, I think, burning him a bit inside. I turn it over to the players. Peregrine, well, she's finally arriving with the group. A little bit late for the fight, but I will let Peregrine describe how she looks as she runs up to the group.
It's been a while since Peregrine actually became the warrior she is. And she put her hair up, bound it, put this down a little bit to trick the rats. And once she finally killed them all, fuck Pokemon, there was no survivors. She ran as fast as she could to the church. And she's torn shirts, ripped, but not a speck on her, at least on her skin, except for one little bloody beauty mark on her cheek. And she'll be going, I just got back. All the fucking rats. I swear to God, no offense, Snatcher, but I swear to God, if I have to deal with one more fucking rat, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to Helena this whole thing and burn it all to the fucking ground to the point there are no more rats ever in existence.
And Elena is laughing.
Snatcher will casually walk past, pat your shoulder, and say, "We're looking for Augustine. He just got taken."
I'm sorry. Hold on. A rat's tail is in here. Hold on.
And Elena walks
said
up
what?
and she wipes off. You've got a little something right here. And she wipes off the blood.
And you see the body of the priest, the red robes sitting there.
Yeah, we took care of that. We took care of that. But right after, the asshole up in Sophia's child snatched Augustine right from this church through the abyss.
She takes her sword and pokes at the body of the priest. So much for quoting scripture to me now.
It's drained of blood.
The surprise face does not come upon Gwen's face. It was almost like as in...
Bodehan's body's there too.
Durr.
Actually, no, they took Bodehan out to be buried out back.
But you don't see Bodehan. Bodehan's gone.
Miguel's face is just blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still the surprise face not appearing yet.
No.
She'd be like, I deal with rats, and you got to kill him. Oh, that's so unfair.
Oh, actually, Miguel did a lot of damage. Also took some damage. But
Birds.
I can tell. It looks rather uncomfortable. But the something came out from the other side.
What's other side?
The ratkin had made it so that it was basically a trap if he tried to escape the way he's been.
I
Yeah.
remember them saying that.
Yeah, well, they laid a trap, and the trap was as soon as he went to open a way to get through, because we were actually damaging him and threatening his life.
Oh, no.
2 dark specters came in and ripped him to shreds.
It was 4,
Just-
actually.
Oh, 4? I thought it was 2.
Where was his God now? Oh, the poor.
I mean, I told him
lad.
that, my kind started his church.
This is true. Your grandsire does things. No offense, Miguel. I just. Damn, I wanted to run him through. Ah. Okay, no more breeding rats.
Because if I see one more rat, I swear to God, I'm going to create something that I can turn around and force fire through and then just spray and pray. That should be a new term. Spray and pray.
Unfortunately, several rats would see the fire, run, and then just breed elsewhere.
There were
That was
also
away from
rats
me.
in our domicile.
Aye.
They swarmed on one of Snatcher's ghouls, who was kinfolk.
That was my thing. They were coming after us because I assumed they were kinfolk. What the fucking hell?
Those are the Ratkins rats. They were killing the kinfolk and the Shadow Lords. They lured the Shadow Lord leader and his best warriors here.
Yeah.
And the one Ratkin was the bait.
Next
While
time
the
I see
rest
them.
went out to where they were. And went out amongst the city to find their kinfolk.
Never trust a rat.
I know.
No offense, Snatcher.
Yes, they are now destroy on sight.
Agreed. Do you need another ghoul? I do have many. You're more than welcome to have one.
Oddly enough, I think I simply need a rat so that they can be better policed. But I will deal with that later.
Okay. Mm.
I need
Right
to
now-
figure out how that damn mage did this. He had an illusion of white fire around the room, but he had put something in it that broke through my ghoul's willpower, their will, their mind, to make them turn on me.
Did it have any effect on the bond itself?
I don't believe so. And, the other one is behaving normally now that the fire is gone. But Bodan, unfortunately, was going to fire on me, and I dominated him to kneel before his queen, and then I ate him.
Okay. So you ate Borden, you ate the priest, and somebody took Augustine.
Yes.
And there's a just recently unstaked Giovanni in the floor too.
Yes, and we have Miguel's friend that we rescued.
Thank
He
you
owes
for
us now.
provide voice.
Which I believe the plan was to move him to the labyrinth that you reside in so that he can wake from torpor, because you don't know how long that would be.
Yes.
Okay.
Miguel is going to activate Eyes of the Beast and look around the church for any dark shadows.
I mean, it's a church. There's no torches. There's no lights. There's lots of dark shadows in every corner of the room's a dark shadow. Now, the spot where he was drugged through, there's still lingering wisps of shadow, like it's I can't even describe it adequately. It's little bits of shadow that are stuck to the floor they're fading, but they're moving as if they have a mind of their own.
Yeah.
Around that part of the floor.
I mean, I figure the obtembration powers are going to show up differently under Eyes of the Abyss than just normal darkness, since Eyes of the Beast can kind of see through
This stuff.
Yeah.
You can definitely see that. That's why you could see the patches moving on the floor where he was snatched. You wouldn't have been able to see it without Eyes of the Beast. It's because of the nature of that particular shadow. It's not like normal shadows. You actually have trouble seeing through it, even with Eyes of the Beast.
Miguel is going to go up to one of the little squirmy shadows and stick a claw in it.
Everybody can see it now where he touched it, because it's clung to his finger. And it's cold, very cold. But once you've touched it, you all see it fade away almost instantly. And for you, Miguel, the spot on the floor fades completely. The wriggling shadows break apart after you touched them, as if they were held together by surface tension of some kind.
Did Miguel have the blacksmith or something? Because they forced the sword. Wouldn't they know a wee bit about all this?
Better idea than I had. I was just hoping, if I could, go through the shadow, maybe I could pull it open and get back in and find them. So
that is Augustine's blacksmith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if, as a friend.
She may know.
Aye. I mean, I don't mind approaching her, being a little warm battled, but if she doesn't mind a visitor.
I imagine since he gave you her the
Sword.
dagger that she made.
Aye. Well, sword. Aye.
I'm not knowledgeable about weapons. I don't know
No worries.
the difference. But either way, since you have it, then she'll know that he gave it to you.
Aye. Bless you. Gesundheit.
Thank you. And maybe she'll know that, I guess, you would be the one to talk to, since I haven't spoken with her. She wouldn't know me.
That's fair. Wants to go to see a mage. Okay, I'll do it.
Miguel, go with her. Snatch her with me.
So Peregrine and Miguel are going to go to find the blacksmith. You know where their shop is. Hopefully they're in it tonight. Whereas Elena and Snatcher, where are they heading?
We are in the religious district. I'm going to pay a visit to my Malkavian seer.
Okay, so we'll do the Malkavian seer first since it's closer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because this is a Malkavian seer, she's awake.
Of course.
It's nighttime.
It's nighttime.
And you arrive at her shop. Well, what does your Malkavian seer do for cover? Or claim to be in the city, I should say.
Apothecary.
An apothecary. Very good.
An herbalist and apothecary.
I like to let the players decide these things. It's easy that way for me. An apothecary. So you show up, and when you arrive, of course, as always, there's not many people moving at night, and the few people on the street are either patrolling guards or they are up to no good. Now, the guards tonight, they're definitely increased in numbers due to the events earlier in the night, whereas normally there's 2. You're seeing them in groups of 4 and 5 each, patrolling the place. But as you arrive on the apothecaries, you can see through, it's not a window, it's more of a curtain that covers the window. She's got a shutter she'll pull in the cold months.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a candle light flickering in the room beyond.
And Elena has a specific knock that she uses when she visits, and she does it.
And a voice, come.
She opens the door and says, I bring a guest with me if you do not mind.
No, I do not mind.
And she...
I'll slink in behind you.
You would be the vagabond thief of this group, wouldn't you?
Got it in one.
I've seen the signs.
Elena closes the door and says, we have a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
You probably already know.
I know something, I don't know what. You also don't tend to make a lot of social calls, so I assume it has to do with whatever I felt.
Yes. We took care of the Inquisitor. However, a La Sombra with abyssal magic has snatched Augustine. and we need to find him quickly.
I saw you trapped in silver, but not trapped in silver. I don't know what it means. But that is the door.
Trapped in silver.
Does the you refer to her specifically, or the royal sense?
I saw Miss Elena. I saw the shadowy lord. I saw the wild priest. I saw the one who hides behind a rose and the vagabond thief, all trapped in that silver together.
Was it as if it was liquid? Was it chains?
No, it was solid, flat.
Storyteller, are there any spots in the city that are built with more metal than wood or stone?
I mean, there's a number of the fancier merchants' places that have, gilding of various types, bronze.
I'd like to roll Wits Occult
Okay.
to try to interpret.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'd like to use my cunning specialty.
Okay, go ahead. We'll use the default.
Okay, I'm going to use a willpower to roll 1 die. I got another success, so that's 5 successes
5 successes.
to try to interpret her vision.
In this era, there are very few things that are commonly silver.
Right.
Only one of which someone would see you trapped in, though. In this particular case, you had a decent amount of successes. Mirrors have often been called the doorway to the other side.
It's a mirror.
Yes, I could see that. You were looking at your reflection.
I can't.
But it was still in this mirror.
So I have to find a mirror that will reflect me.
That could be one way to take it. It could also be symbolic. It's hard to tell with my visions.
I understand. It gives me something, gives me a lead. It will be an enchanted mirror if we find it.
It won't be in the labyrinth.
No.
In my tirade, I think I smashed a lot of them on my way to kill rats.
That's not like I use them. Gwen might be upset. Well, thank you, Sia.
I am glad I could help. I wish I could see more. But when I try to find more, all I see is blackness.
Yes. It is the child of the Princess Sophia.
It's not that, it's something else, something I haven't seen before.
Really?
Yes. It's something my visions can't penetrate it, can't see.
Interesting. Try not to let it worry you. It might all be solved once we handle this situation.
I can hope.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, actually. Sorry, I get distracted. There's so much going through my head at times. Be careful.
Now, what's the fun in that? Of course, I'll be careful.
Internally, Snatch is like, bitch, what did we just go through?
Thank you, dear Sia.
And she's definitely more distracted than usual tonight.
We'll just excuse ourselves.
And as you go to leave, we're going to flash over to Peregrine and Miguel. You go to find the forge. And like a lot of knights, since she's popular, she has quite a number of jobs going. So she doesn't really stop early. So you can tell she's there by the sound of the hammer striking anvil as you're approaching the place. The glow of the forges lighting the way. Though both of you have been around enough forges, you'd swear the forge isn't quite hot enough to make the metal workable. But as you enter the place, the blade she is hammering on right now is definitely, it's a yellow-white color as she's pounding on it.
Hail and well met, miss. May I have a moment of your time?
No time for commissions tonight. I've already got a big enough backlog.
I'm Lady Peregrine McSullivan. I do have a need to talk to you.
I've heard that name, Peregrine. Augustine mentioned you.
You know this sword, aye?
And she looks at it. Yes, I made it. I am the creator.
Aye, I know. You're his friend, and we know of you having a unique ability for certain things. He was taken tonight.
Wait. He was taken?
Aye?
By who?
She looks to Miguel.
We don't exactly know. Darkness sort of just enveloped him and he was gone.
How much do you know of reality?
That's why we're talking to you, ma'am.
You have this. This is reality. This is where we live. This is where we are. There are other places that overlap where we are. There are places that touch where we are. There are places that are near where we are. Anytime you take a journey through the shadows, you're going to one of those.
Okay, well, could you, if you went to the church, is there any way you could maybe discover on what took him and where?
I can look. Most of what I do is concerned with physical objects. As you can see, she holds up the blade.
Aye, it's an excellent blade, or will be one.
This
I believe.
one will not dull in battle.
Oh, okay. Now you have me interested. However, I will have to pause and put a pin in that one because I believe you're a woman of many talents, and I think you probably maybe could at least assist us in putting us into the right direction and where to find a friend. And your friend as well. Aye?
Let me get my apprentices to bank the fire.
Aye.
And she steps out of the room, taking off the leather apron that she wears while she's working. She hangs it on a peg that's by the door as she walks out of the forge. And she comes back about 7-8 minutes later. And you notice that the fire has, even though she's not working the bellows at all, it hasn't dimmed any.
Interesting way and how you tend your fire.
It tends itself.
Interesting. I can't say I've ever seen that in my days.
I don't have time to constantly work the bellows. So a little bending here, a little bending there of the rules of things, and it keeps going. Aye. You also notice, you see how it's not as bright as it should be? The heat is contained under the top layers. It gets frightfully hot in here. So I tend to keep the heat down inside rather than let it radiate out. It makes it easier to heat the blades faster, but also keeps me from sweating quite as much.
Aye. That's very sensible. I appreciate it too. And the sword you made was actually quite excellent. I haven't seen a sword like that made in quite some time.
Yeah. That's what I do. Always trying to make a better weapon, a more durable weapon, a more useful weapon.
Well, let's weaponize your mind for a moment and see where our friend went, has I?
Now you two can lead the way.
Aye. And Peregrine will... She's not wasting time.
The two of you head off.
Yeah. On the walk over, Miguel is going to get a chance to get a good long look at her and use his Scry the Skull.
Okay, you're going to use Scry the Soul. This should be fun. Let's see here.
His audio cut for me, so I thought he said scry the scroll. I'm like, yeah, that's what you do with all scrolls.
Sometimes you got to scry a soul or two, or a scroll or two, okay? So it's perception plus empathy.
Two successes.
How many? Two?
Two.
Okay, so 2 tells you can get the main color. The main color. Looking here to see. Going through my list. Honestly, it's a violet color.
Yeah, so I will tell you, he's suspecting that this woman is a mage.
Unfortunately, there's no easy way to tell that she's a mage. But she does have a violet colored aura right now.
Okay.
And it's possible that Augustine has mentioned that she's, I don't know if he'd use the word mage, but she is, does things that shouldn't be possible. And in fact, didn't you see Peregrine's, the star iron blade cutting shadow?
Mm-hmm.
So you know that blade is not something any smith you've ever seen could have made.
I mean, imagine he doesn't know what star iron is, so he thinks that it's possibly some sort of magical material.
So as you two are heading to the church, several guard patrols pass you. They pay the smith no mind because she's with you two. But I got to ask, where did Elena and Snatcher go after a meeting with the Malkavian?
Snatcher would have offered, because he has various locations where he has rats check in, so that way he can just go to certain spots to get information instead of searching aimlessly for rats all the damn time. So we could do the rat circuit if you wanted.
Certainly.
Yeah, I see what Peregrine's doing there. So
Yeah.
Peregrine and Miguel, you all arrive back at the church. And as soon as you walk in, the smith, she closes her eyes a minute. And there's a residue here. Magic was definitely worked. The fire, it sings to me. I can feel it, strongest of all. Which makes sense because I have a skill with fire.
Is it saying kill, 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 burn, burn, burn?
I just feel the residue of its summoning.
Because that's what the so-called priests, the fire that he created, said.
It also broke. We have a way of, shall we say, keeping our servants to us, and it broke the bond we have with them. The fire did. Is there any way to explain that?
Oh, that's easy to explain.
Okay.
The one you were up against, one of the things they're known for is altering minds. They just forced the mind to do their bidding. Think of it as putting them on puppet strings like a marionette.
Aye.
It's not an easy thing to do, but there's many that can do it. Now, where did you say he was disappeared from?
Miguel's going to point to the spot.
And she bends down and touches the stone, and you see her running her finger over it, and it almost looks like she's tracing symbols with her finger as she does it. Oh, this settles it. He's not here.
That is correct. Yeah, he went through the stone. Where did it go?
Remember I told you about the nature of reality.
Aye. What I'm saying is that in the nature of reality, is there any way to pinpoint or any way to tell me where point A, where is he in point B in time, space, and the whole thing of it all?
I can't tell you exactly where it went.
Give me a rough estimation.
He was pulled through the barrier between worlds into a different world. Different is the best way to put it. He was pulled into the best I can explain it is where the sun is never touched.
So like his powers, but like just all the time.
I mean, maybe. The rules there don't always apply the same as here. It all depends on where. This isn't what I'm good at. I don't normally deal with this kind of stuff, but so I can't tell you exactly where he went, but he was pulled through a portal of some kind. I mean, I've got the resident. I can feel the resonance of what he does. It's like a vibration from the after effect of what was used.
This one, Ninja pointed to the dead body. This one actually went to what Miguel called it, Shadowlands or something kind of like spooky, where all the
Purgatory.
Purgatory, where all the spirits kind of like to just vibe.
The land
up
of the
there.
dead.
Aye.
That
Do you
is a
think-
reality that lays on top of our reality.
Aye.
We share a common world.
But is he at that reality, or is he like above that one? Is this like a cake of realities?
It's not that one. It's one that overlaps ours, but doesn't overlap ours. It is, I lack words to explain it, unfortunately. It is here, but not here. It is.
Is he a ghost?
No, well, he would still be there. But it's hard to explain it.
Take a breath. Just let the words come to you.
It is another part of this world, an ancient part, a part long forgotten, a part that memory has forgotten, but it has not forgotten us. So it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you able to deduce where the portal was opened from?
It was opened from there. This is a making of your kind. This is not the way we would do it. If we were going there, we wouldn't drag you through. We would just have you pop up here, or we would step through or go on our own. This was Augustine was deliberately taken. He was the target.
So this is Canaanite magic, eh?
It is definitely not what we would do. It is
I mean,
closer to what those ill-begotten sons of the House of Tremere were experimenting on before they broke from the rest of us.
Please tell me that this is not Tremere magic.
It's not the same. Tremere magic.
Okay.
They used much the same as I did, except they didn't focus on items. They focused on other aspects of it. Up until they broke away, they were doing normal magic. I've heard what they've dabbled into now isn't like what we do.
I'm guessing this is the same type of magic that shadow thing that we ran into in the alley came from.
Based on what Augustine showed me, now, that might be a good assumption. It is the source of where his shadows came from.
So then this would be kind of more shadow magic then?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's the actual source, not the trickle that he seems to channel when he does his thing. It is the true source.
What's a true source of the Mulsumper magic? Right. Okay. Well, any other tidbits you could possibly throw away on this?
This kind of thing is not easy to accomplish. My guess is that he's not doing it as need constantly. He has found a way to create a path through there, or to there, I should say. A path that he can use at will without trying to do it himself. Anytime you cross worlds and go to past the boundary, it takes a lot of effort. He's got a way through. You have to just find how he's doing it.
Right. Well, we are going to have to find Helena and see her in the great, big, bold mind of hers. She knows half of this stuff.
Helena, isn't that Augustine calls her his baby sister?
Hey. Older sister. He's the baby brother.
He referred to her as the baby sister once.
No, that's a different sister altogether.
Oh, okay.
She's a little bit she's a wee bit, several nuts shy of a full tree.
Oh, so her aqueduct is cracked. Got it.
Oh, a wee bit more than a crack.
The water just leaks out and doesn't make it to the end. I understand. I've seen that quite a bit.
There's no water. It just falls straight through. That foundation's gone. There's no way of building that up now.
Well, I do hope you find him. He's brought me some interesting puzzles. I wish I could be of more service to you, other than something like this. It's not going to be, whatever he's using, it's not going to be subtle. It is going to be something big and grand. It is going to be something that you could put the power into. It'd have to be at least man-sized to walk through it.
So like an arch or something.
Something.
Right, well, you've been very obliging, and I'm so happy that you could at least help us with trying to figure out this conundrum. I do appreciate it.
Done what I can, I guess. You mind if I stay here a bit? I want to study this a bit more.
Don't mind the dead bodies. Other than that, sure. Oh, he did. Oh, I don't know.
The priest was buried, but there's still blood and shit in the room.
I just know that he was somewhere.
Part of the priest is being delivered to Marcus as a gift.
Oh, look, there was a toenail.
Yeah, I want to study what was done here.
Sure. If you could give me your findings, I'd appreciate it.
No. I'll make a deal with you. I'll tell you what you find if you tell me what you find if you find Augustine.
And of course.
And she reaches out, shakes your hand.
I appreciate it. As soon as we find out what's going on with him, I'd be more than happy to do it, to regale you with the details.
Well, I'd love to hear him.
Preferably with him laughing beside me and probably poking me with a stick.
And so as you all sit out, how are you going to find Elena? I know you got a pretty easy way, actually.
Well, she said she was going to go to her Malkavian. I don't know where her Malkavian is, but I saw her going into the religious district.
Well, you've already been in the religious district at the church, but you do happen to have Miguel, who can be in a bird that can fly around the damn city and get the view from above, as it were.
So do you want to become Longfeather's cousin for a moment?
Yeah, I'm just Miguel's going to try to find a cat and relay some information to Snatcher that way. Tell the cat to go find the one that talks to the rats. And
there's not a lot of stray cats here. There's a lot of stray dogs, though.
I guess the dog will have to work then.
The dog will work. Dog can sniff them out. You're in the era where people started to think cats were the disease carriers, so they tended to kill cats every chance they got, thereby allowing the things that actually carried the disease to spread it more. We won't go into that.
No wonder why the rats are so populous in the city.
Yep. So you find a dog easy enough.
All right. After relaying the message, I will fly off. I do get hungrier as I shift.
Okay. And because Miguel's wounds are mostly internal, his bird form looks normal. It doesn't. I mean, his injuries are a lot of internal from the blood. And he sets off
a little burnt.
A little around the mouth. Just makes your beak oddly colored. You do find Elena and Snatcher in an alleyway, still in the religious district. Snatcher's talking to a rat. And so Snatcher, the rats haven't seen Augustine at all.
Yeah, I sort of fucking figured.
And when he relays that to Elena, she says, have they perhaps seen something with a shiny reflective surface that might seem weird or smell weird to them? Or someone come in with a lodge? Because I imagine it's big enough to walk through.
Snatcher thinks for a second of how do I dumb that down to animal, and then he'll just ask the rat that we're talking to, have you seen anyone entering or exiting
A strange object.
a knot door,
Yeah.
like a shiny knot door or anything like that, or things that you noticed?
The rat.
I think that's the best way he can try to communicate.
The rat just kind of looks at you funny. None of that. There was the big one we saw on the street many nights ago. It was being moved from where the water is to where you two legs live.
They said they saw something being brought in from the docks and then brought into the city, but no details beyond that.
Be nice to know where it was taken.
Perhaps rats aren't the way to look for this one.
Okay. Well, please thank him for his assistance.
No. And then Snatcher starts walking with you out.
The rat just kind of noses at you. Food?
I take a random crumb out of my pocket and chuck it over to him. Snatcher, you also noticed, Elena, Snatcher's usually about as, like, he tries to be polite to the rats. He's not taking that
The
effort
rat grabs
this
the
time.
food and scurries off. It was just a bit of dried apple, but he doesn't care. And it's at this
It's
point,
food.
as you're coming out of the alleyway, the Miguel bird lands.
Is Gwen still in his line of sight, or
No, Gwen,
Gwen's-
but you know where Gwen was, so you can easily go back.
so he's just gonna like kind of note to nod to Snatcher and Elena, and then fly back to Gwen in that direction.
Okay.
And we'll follow.
So you follow and meet back up.
Mhm.
That way we don't have to have a whole bunch of scenes of walking through the city, and you all meet back up.
Mm-hmm.
Out front of the church. And you see inside the church is a woman you recognize as one of the Smiths. She's poking the stone and walking around the church, muttering to herself the whole time.
That's the Smith?
She actually gave us quite a bit of information.
Good. The rats didn't give us much. But my seer said that we would be trapped in silver, and I interpreted that she meant a mirror.
Well, yeah, that would fit what the portal is. It's created from our well, not ours, yours, your magic.
Well, not my personally, because I do.
Not yours, your clan.
Yeah, I know. It's a, they call it a mysticism. It is working with the materials from the abyss, which is deeper than where oblivion is.
Aye. And she said that it's layers. I'm thinking it's more like an onion, but at the same time, he went
Yes, it
through.
stinks and it makes you cry.
Yes, exactly. and she said that he was pulled through to a different world where the sun never touches.
Oh, it certainly would be the abyss.
And she said that from that stone right there that he went through, that is a portal made from shadow magic, that it's using the direct magic, and he found a way using a path at will to just take what he wants. And she said kind of like an archway. Well, a mirror would fit into an archway too.
Yes, the rats did see a large object being delivered from the docks into the city, but we don't know where it ended up. That would probably be a mirror.
And I got an answer for your fire and what happened to your men.
Yes.
She says that it's altering mind magic that forces people to do things like a puppet.
Oh, not so unlike my own skills, but I can understand that. I saw that a bit when he did that with the lay brother.
Aye.
And left
so,
a message with him. Yes.
So that's why I made sure I asked that one too, because I'm sure you wanted an answer to that one.
Oh, yes. It's just interesting to know, but he's dead now, so.
This is true. However, so pretty much he went through that stone over there and he crossed worlds.
Yeah. So now we need to find the mirror.
Aye.
And I don't know how we're going to do that.
It came through the docks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
So there's a shipping manifest.
I'll go see my dock. I'll see my dock master.
Storyteller.
I'll go with you, Peregrine.
Okay.
If I could, I know that only recently there were 4 specters, so I'm sure ghost presence is going to be a bit slim. But in case there are any brave not souls around, could I see if I could pull one aside to talk to it real quick?
Give me
or at least
wits
look for a
or
ghost.
perception awareness, please.
Yes, sir. Hey, actual successes. You'll love seeing it.
It doesn't matter either way to me.
All right, because of some 10s, I have 7 successes.
7. When you're trying to look for spirits, a knack you've always had in life, even in undeath, you've had it. There are shadowy glimpses of spirits in the area, but all of them are wrong. All of the spirits you can see, you only catch them in glimpses, but they all have tattered forms. They all have eyes of fire.
So they all seem a bit twisted.
Yes.
Okay.
They seem to be spread out in a bunch of different areas. Like, the best way to describe it is they're guarding multiple places at once. It's not like the rat can know exactly where he would punch a hole.
Definitely pointing that out to whoever's still around. But at the same time, yikes. And yeah, I'm not going to continue with my train of thought. I'm not interacting with specters. That's a stupid thing to do.
Well, someone still needs to move the vampire body that you unstaked back to the labyrinth. So I know Miguel needs to do that. Maybe Snatcher's going to help him.
If you want, I can carry him on my own, although I'm not fast.
I am not at full strength, so to say, so I could certainly use the assistance.
Joint effort it is, and I'll grab Mr. Marcus was his name, you said?
Marcus Giovanni.
Yeah, I'll grab Mr. Marcus Giovanni by his ankles and lift while you grab at his shoulders.
And I'm just carrying him over to like just a cart and tossing him in and picking up the cart.
If nothing else, you know where some carts are stored.
I'm also gonna. Would it be possible for me to stop by? Do we have any stores where we may have a bottle of blood that I can give to this guy, so he doesn't wake up and try to kill someone or anything stupid like that?
No, because the blood would not keep.
Oh, right,
it would
because
congeal.
we're before preservation techniques for that shit.
Mm-hmm. If I recall, you gave him some blood when you got him down off the cross.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did I? The whole last bit of that episode was a blur. So
while you two are doing that, we're going to flash to Gwen and Elena. Gwen, you go over to the dockmasters. He's actually the tax authority, technically. He's in charge of making sure that the levy is paid for anyone docking here at your port. He's asleep, of course, at this hour. Not that you care.
She will be at least respectful and knock to be like, she's coming in.
It takes a bit of time before, you hear the noise of rustling around as he's coming down, and the man that comes to the door is definitely in his bedclothes still, and he peeks out. Gwen,
Aye, I need to talk to you quick.
At this ungodly hour.
Well, ungodly things have happened in this hour, and I need you up and fast.
Get off the street. Get off the street. Get in here.
I'll bark an order to me. Don't start with me right now. I'll put you up on your fart. That's what I'll do. I need to know about Amira.
And who's this?
Don't ask questions. Answer them.
What about Amir?
A while ago, there was a mirror that was taken off of the boat over on a dock. I need to know the manifest from the boat.
Yes, the big mirror, right?
A large one, yes.
Aye.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of mirrors through here. That one, definitely, I remember. It went up to the fortress. It was the king had it ordered. It's up in the fortress.
Aye. Can you give me the manifest of the boat that
Let me see
brought it
if
here?
I can find
Find out
a
where
note.
it came from.
And he goes through and shuffles through a number of scrolls. I'm trying to remember which day. Not this road, not here. No, it'd be this book over here. And he pulls out a book. It's his ledger. And he flips through some pages and he points at it. Yes, it's the sea spray. It came from Sophia, docked, dropped off the mirror for the king, paid the levy.
Any boats that come from Sophia, I want them searched. And anything that is coming off of that, then I'm going to tell you now, you put it off to the side and you don't get to release them until you talk to me. Is that clear?
Of course, mistress, that's fine. Is there trouble? I'd hate to find out something's going to happen to the king.
It's certainly
Sure.
better not, but, we will resolve.
Look, there are some suspicious things coming afoot. I want to make sure that I'm approach of any odd, large, weird things that may just be showing up here for some innocuous reason that may or may not be used for nefarious deeds. Am I heard?
I'll draft up a letter to give to the other dock masters out there, the ones that don't collect the levy, just so they're aware.
Aye.
Because we do have ships that come into port, but if they don't offload, we don't tax them unless it's actually coming into the city.
I understand that. I'm talking about the big shit that comes off of the fucking docks, so that goes somewhere else. Because the big damn mirror should have been reported. But I'm not going to hold you accountable for that at the moment.
It was for the king.
I don't care if it's for the emperor of all of the Holy
Pope.
Lands. I don't even want to deal with the Pope.
Would hang out in this. We don't really put a lot of kindness to the Pope here. We're more orthodox.
I know.
Let's just keep on task here, my man.
I will make sure that everyone knows to boats from Sophia can't unload until you're notified.
Oh,
Fine. Perfect.
Yes, they need to be thoroughly inspected.
Aye. Because there's a massive rat problem if you haven't noticed, and I have a feeling Sophia's springing them in, and I don't really want to deal with that. Do you? I don't think you do.
Mistress, I've never heard of a rat importer.
Yeah, but they come on the boat. And they come off the boat.
Yeah, and then they go drinking in the bars and start fights. Oh, you're talking
those rats?
not sailors.
Aye, my man.
I mean, there isn't much difference, yes?
You can tell at this hour he's a bit cranky. Because it's pretty late.
Well, he sees that she's like battle worn and shit. So she's just like, I appreciate it if you would do me this kindness, and I will see it repay to you in a later date. Am I good?
That's fine. I can make sure that's taken care of.
Perfect. Now I have to go see what the fucking king's got. I appreciate your service.
You should check with the master servants. He would know where it was moved to, because when we bring something like that up, we take it to the fortress, and my people can't go in the fortress. It has to go through him, so that our unclean hands aren't walking through the fortress. They accuse us of stealing every time one of my people went in there, so.
We'll have a talk with them, okay? Just breathe in, breathe out. Again, if you have any problems, bring them to me. We'll sort it out.
Let the man go to bed.
I am. That's why I'm telling him to shut up and go back to bed.
And he, as soon as you say that, thank you.
Okay,
Too dark
goodbye.
for sensible people.
Who says
I'm
we're
not
sensible?
sensible.
I am.
on.
And he ushers you out of the place as he closes the door, and you hear the bar go over the door
Yeah.
as he goes back, and you can hear him mumbling all the way up the stairs.
Crazy damn women.
Yeah.
Just as a quick out of player thing, I have had that exact interaction with people before when they woke me up. God, it's annoying as shit. Quit
So
lecturing me. Just let me sleep.
Miguel and Snatcher got a cart and moved Marcus Giovanni to the fortress. Elena and Peregrine, you're heading to the fortress now?
Yeah, right there.
Running around the city.
I mean, if I could, I'd scoop her up so I could just run.
Does Peregrine and Elena need to talk on the way there, or is it pretty?
Would you like to have a chat?
We can if you need one, but
I don't.
I think
need one.
Elena is single-minded of purpose. She's going to get her baby
we're just
brother.
like, yeah. No, I'll just scoop you up and I'll use celerity. Screw it.
Fine.
You don't need to walk.
Fine.
Fuck it.
She can be princess
Fireman.
carried. It's fine.
Oh, it's been so long, Elena.
Okay, so
Wow, it's too bad you're not playing a German, because then we could make an Uber joke. Oh well.
What do you mean? Actually, I speak the German as well, so I could be an Uber. There you are.
now,
That for 100 years before my time.
Miguel and Snatcher, it took you a little bit to get the cart. The cart makes it easy to carry, but I'm not going to say it's fast. You don't have any horses. You're kind of pulling the cart.
And one of us is still beat to shit, so.
I mean, I do have a gold horse in the stable I can just go get.
Okay, that I have time. So you're going to get to the fortress about the time Elena and Peregrine arrive. So you'll run into each other in the labyrinth catacombs as those two are moving to go find the master of servants.
He's probably sent a bird to go and let Sister Luminita know so that someone can watch over Marcus Giovanni so that they can do other things.
Yep.
So she'll probably be arriving with Johann in tow so that if he wakes up hungry, there's Johann there.
And they're going to take him to one of the inner areas, given the events earlier tonight, an area that they know have good walls without holes for rats to run through. There's several of those at least. But you run into Elena and Peregrine as they're coming through the labyrinth to head up to find the master of servants. Because you all don't use the front gate of the fortress. It would look odd.
Mm-hmm. So a large miller came in through the docks. We spoke with the harbor master. It came from Sofia and was ordered by the king. So now we're on our way to speak to the master of servants, because the servants would have installed the miller.
Would you like me to sneak into the king's chambers and see if I can find anything in the form of some sort of invoice to see if it was not just a fabrication?
I would not suggest you go in there yet. Let's find out where it was installed.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to go and is everyone going to see the master of servants?
Well,
I mean, we're here. We're.
You're going to roll
Actually,
deep
you know
on
what?
him?
Look, it's that or Miguel turns into a wolf and starts sniffing around for darkness.
You know?
So
Just
Actually, yeah.
make sure to attack the darkness.
At
That's
this
what every
hour,
D&D player knows.
The master of servants is awake,
Mhm.
managing the staff that does the once the nobles are asleep. That's when
Everyone does
all the servants come out of hiding
Mm-hmm.
to do most of the cleaning and most of the stuff around the place.
Mm-hmm.
So you find him actually in the banquet hall where he is ushering 9 or 10 servants to clean up the mess that was made in the place, because even if it wasn't a banquet night, table manners are you're a few centuries away from those.
Yes. Elena has dealt with this master of servants before when we were dealing with the poisoning. So she walks up to him and says, Master.
Mr. Selena?
Yes. There's an issue. Lord de la Cruz has gone missing, and I believe it is tied to a large mirror the king ordered.
We have that. It's down in the storage room off the kitchen for now. King didn't know where to put it yet, so we just stuck it in a place it wouldn't get broken.
Excellent. Thank you. And she turns.
So, in case you don't remember, it's go to the kitchen, go to the back of the larder.
I know
And you'll-
where it is, but thank you.
Yes, mistress. And he kind of eyeballs the rest of you.
Mhm.
Get back to work. I can't let these lords and ladies see you slacking. And he
Snatcher
raps one
just-
of the servant boys on the top of the head. You missed a spot. Get that spot there.
Has to exercise the fact that he still has authority while being bullied by someone more influential than him.
Mhm.
It's,
She thanked him at least.
Yeah, he didn't hear that part apparently.
he also doesn't want you to think that he's not doing his job.
Right. He's overcompensating. Yes. It is not impressing Elena. But
So you all, when you go through the kitchen, the sculpture maids are scrubbing out several pots with salt.
Mhm.
And it's a reed brush, basically a bunch of reeds tied together to scrub with.
scrub with. Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. And we just walk right past them.
They don't even lift their head.
They know better than to say anything. Yeah.
When you head to the back and go down, you go down, this particular storage room is definitely a place where they put stuff they don't know what to do with.
Mhm.
There are several old pieces of furniture. There are broken furniture that I'm sure somebody thought to repair at some point, benches. But leaning against one of the corner is a large gilded mirror. There is a cloth that was thrown over it, but the cloth has been moved aside to show the gilded mirror. It's gold, very nice, actually. Looks like the frame is got a fair amount of gold leaf on it. The silver part of the mirror is no damage to it.
Storyteller, could I appraise this mirror real quick?
Go ahead. I know you have a skill for that, don't you?
Yeah.
That's,
How much would this fence for?
Yeah.
In my wits, I have a specialty of valued targets. Would that count?
Yeah, but no, because that was for robbing people. Well, yeah, we'll let you use it this time. Why not?
Okay.
Miguel's
Is it-
going to shift into wolf and sniff to see if the mirror smells of the darkness.
Oh, as soon as you shift to wolf form, the whole room smells of the darkness. The whole room smells off. Let's see what
And I'm
Snatcher gets.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear what the other skill was on that. It's wits.
Wits.
What do you want in this case?
Legerdemain normally is one for that.
Okay. I will happily roll that combination because that gives me 8 dice.
Because that would be tied with Legerdemain's about stealing, so that would be tied with stealing, wouldn't it?
And you said the difficulty was a standard?
Yep, standard difficulty.
Okay, then that comes out to terrible. 2 successes on 8 dice.
It's worth a lot.
Okay. Great. The player could have figured that out. Okay.
2 successes. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
You're
I
not
know.
doing that well on your rolls there, man.
I'll look at it more in depth later if it's not broken by the time this is done.
That would be an interesting question, wouldn't it?
I mean, you are in the companionship of Elena. Do you think it's not going to be broken when we're done?
Well, let's break it after we have Augustine.
Well,
then
yeah,
fuck
of course.
this mirror.
We get
but
back out through it, and then we break the bitch.
yeah, then we take whatever metal gilding and melt it into something useful.
Yeah.
Like coins.
Okay.
So can I use animalism to talk to Snatcher, since as a wolf, my mouth can't make the forms to
Well,
make
he's
actual
got,
words?
he can talk to animals, so you can make
Yeah.
animal noises, and he can talk to. Yeah.
I can make animal noises back.
Yeah, you can animal noise at each other. When you start making a bunch of noises, I'm sure he knows to kick off his.
Honestly, Snatcher doesn't even realize that he's doing it. He just transitions smoothly, like someone who's grew up speaking multiple languages. Just perfect transitions from animal to regular speak.
The stench of darkness is all over this room. Miguel's trying to see if he can pinpoint anything, but
He's saying that it smells incredibly dark in this room. But he's not sure anything specifically in this room.
I'm going to peer behind the mirror, not into the reflective surface. I want to see if there's any markings or anything on the back of the mirror, because it's leaned against the wall, so it's at an angle. She can kind of kneel and see under it.
As you get close to the mirror, you're the Sombra.
Yes.
You don't cast images in a mirror. You don't have a reflection.
She's not looking at the reflective surface.
But as you get near it, you see yourself moving in the mirror. It's blurry, indistinct, shadowy. But you can see yourself moving across the mirror as you go to look around it.
Interesting, I just saw my reflection in the mirror, and then she leans to look around the back of it.
And just a quick thing, did we see her reflection too, or just her?
You see it too. It's not clear, it's shadowy, it's more of a blob of her moving, but it's there, and normally...
Nothing.
I mean, La Sombra, that's the curse. They can't be near one.
V5 description then, I'm guessing? Or similar?
Similar to what V5 turned it into, where it's off. You can't exactly tell. You know it's her base, but it looks frighteningly
Do I see anything
disturbing.
on the back of the mirror?
Nothing on the back of the mirror.
Nothing there. Well, are we ready? Let's go in.
I'm going to obfuscate before stepping through or into this mirror, depending on what we end up doing.
What do you do? Who's doing what?
Elena's going to walk through.
You're just going to walk and touch it?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you touch it, Elena is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we found the doorway.
Swear to God, that woman. She'll have her swords all ready and Scorpion's touch ready and just go right after Elena because goddamn that woman.
Peregrine disappears.
Miguel growls a little bit as he goes in.
Just touch your snout to the mirror.
Miguel goes in, leaving Snatcher.
Real quick, is there any chance I could sentinel a rat and just have it hide in this storeroom?
It's a storeroom. There's rats in the storeroom.
Okay, I'm going to designate one to say, keep an eye out for any other, and he indicates himself, any other dead that come through to interact with this mirror. Just count how many that come through.
Okay.
I don't care about humans. They won't fuck with this mirror. And before I touch it, I'm actually going to try and pull the cover so the mirror is more covered and then just touch my back to it,
As soon
I
as
guess.
you touch it, you're gone. And you all are in a natural darkness. And right here, everybody, we're going to go to break. We will be back in 10 minutes as they are now trapped in the mirror. See you in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break. Welcome back. Before the break, well, let's see. They went looking for where Augustine was taken. And they finally managed to find out a mirror is being used. A mirror that is most unnatural because, first of all, you could see, Elena could see herself in it. Shadowy and malformed, but you could see her. But when they touched it, they were transported to somewhere else. The first thing that you notice in this other place, the darkness, it has a weight to it, a feel. It is, you can feel it's almost alive as it surrounds you. You're in some sort of strange cavern. At least that is your guess based on the wall next to you, because you can't see more than a foot or so in front of you. And that only light that you're getting is coming from the sword that Peregrine brought with her.
Eyes of the Beast have been activated as soon as it hits
When you
darkness.
activate Eyes of the Beast, you see nothing outside the sword light. The darkness is impenetrable even to your Eyes of the Beast. It is almost a real thing. But you're catching all of you, even in the darkness that is complete and absolute, outside the radius of the light, flickers of movement. And the flickers of movement are horrific things. Things that look like you but are not you. Creatures that are bent, misshapen. Creatures made of all mouths. Some just look like a vortex of limbs. But they flicker in and out. And all the while you feel the weight of these shadows as you can feel your will buckling under the assault.
Do I feel that?
Yes, even you.
Hmm.
It is related to obtenebration, but this is more than you've ever, compared to what you're doing is the barest trickle of what you're feeling here. This is the raw stuff. This is where it all came from.
Elena's going to just take a moment and she releases her hair and it comes down and flows down basically to her hips. And she just closes her eyes and just feels the power around her. Let's go find Augustine.
And these movements in the shadows, these flickers, for Elena, you see glimpses of your husband you had long ago. You see the glimpses of those who you burned, those you buried. Peregrine sees misshapen forms from her time in the gladiator fights. For Snatcher, his mother horribly ravaged by age. For Miguel, monks who have been flayed, monks who have been killed, even crucified men moving amongst these shadows as you're moving. And as you step into it, every step, you can feel the weight pushing against you. It's not an actual weight. It is a physical and mental weight. The weight of the shadows themselves sapping your urge to walk forward in it. But right now, your willpower is strong enough to move forward. It is strong enough to continue. Using the light, are you going to follow the edge of the cavern? You're going to walk through the center?
Can I use my... Koldunic sorcery?
You reach out to it. And the land does not respond. The land is not the land here.
Interesting. So this does not coincide with where we exist.
When we're in a regular area, you can pull shadows towards you. Can you also push them away?
I've never tried. I'm going to try it.
Go ahead and roll willpower, but your cap on your dice I'm going to let you use. Let's see. It's going to be equal to your courage.
Okay, so that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just roll my courage.
Go ahead.
Difficulty 6?
Yeah, sure.
I still have my wound penalty.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
Oof. No, I can't do it.
As you try to push it, the place has a will of its own. The shadows you try to shove close in a little tighter. And it's at that point, Peregrine, you can see the metal of your blade, though it is glowing, you can see it slowly, the sheen in parts of it, slowly working away, very slowly. But you know, from what you were told of the blade, given enough time here, the blade's properties, the power of the star metal, it will consume all the star metal contained therein and cease to function.
Can't keep this up too much longer.
And there is no mirror behind you, by the way.
Of course not. So I guess we're just going to go straight through.
Okay.
Because I figure we are legit going to find him in the dead fucking center.
The Bruja approach.
Yeah.
Well, the lady said that it was going to be something big and grand, kind of like a prima donna. Makes sense, center stage.
As you move forward in this cavern, the floor is obviously stone, but it's not a stone you recognize. It is a pure black there's veins that run through it, almost a goldish color that are slightly pulsing like the floor itself is alive. But beyond, about a foot beyond your group, there's no light cast, no reflections. And as you're moving through it, you come across the first of the stone columns. You don't even realize it's there until you almost hit it, because the light doesn't reflect off it. The light is eaten by this. The only reason you found it is it's a complete black spot, and the radius of light as you got near it. The stone of it is made of the same stuff as the floor. Doesn't look like it was carved by any mortal hand. It is too perfect.
Mm-hmm.
As you're moving, sounds come from behind you. Shuffling of feet. Whisper of clothes. And then the sounds are to your left. And some there in front of you. This place is playing tricks on both your mind, your eyes, and your ears.
Stay focused. These are distractions.
You said go to the center. Mm-hmm. That's exactly where I'm going.
And as you're moving through, there's a laugh. But the laugh comes not from one voice. It sounds as if 1,000 people, different voices, with a low chuckling laugh. I don't see your kind here often. And again, as the speaking starts, the voice is the voice of 1,000 voices, all melded into one. Some talking a little slower, some talking a little faster, to where it creates an odd but understandable cacophony of noise. Would you mind putting out the light? It bothers my eyes, something frightful.
Aw, maybe if you'd like to turn on the lights, we could have an honorable exchange.
There is no light here. There is never light here. You are in the place without light. It is defined by no light.
Give us Augustine and we leave.
Augustine. Who is Augustine? I do not know that name.
The one that was snatched.
I think you have your own reality and you have stuck me in it. I know nothing about an Augustine. Was he perhaps taken by the other of this realm, the one who walks through?
Likely.
Who is of us, but not of us, but holds dominion over us.
If I destroy him, will it free you?
Oh, I am not a prisoner.
Oh, good.
I am me.
Good.
Could you at least partially hide the blade, dim the light a little, so that I may approach closer?
She'll cover just a bit of the sword, but still making sure that there is light for us to see.
At the edge of the light, a tall figure is right at the very edge. Looks like he's clad in swirling rags. Pieces of a cloak, multiple pieces though. They move to a breeze that doesn't exist. But he's got large yellow eyes that just peek out from amongst all the rags that wrap his entire body. But when he speaks, that is the source of all the voices. Though his mouth moves You can tell his mouth is moving for every single voice. Ah, that's a little better. I see you more clearly now. What brings such as you to this place?
This place is where that other that holds dominion of you took someone from me.
He does not hold dominion over me. He holds dominion over this slice of the realm.
Ah,
I, on the other hand, I go where I please. I have always gone where I please. I always will go where I please.
I don't intend to stop you. I'm just looking for who belongs to me.
This is not a safe place for those not accustomed to this darkness. It is not a safe place for those who are. You do know if you stay here too long, you will go mad. If your friend has been trapped here,
Not long.
he will go mad.
That's why I am in a hurry.
Do you not see the flickers, the shadows? They will wear you down.
Again, why I'm in a hurry.
Now you are in a hurry. What of your companions? Do any of you feel the kinship of this place? Does it call to any of you? I would know why I am, well, whether I am talking to a madman or not.
Before I respond to him, what sort of role could I get to see how much bigger than me this thing is? I don't mean physically. I mean conceptually. Would that be perception empathy?
Awareness in this place.
Perception awareness, okay. Because I'm trying to see just how in over my head I am.
Go ahead.
Three successes.
He is as much the shadow as the shadows themselves. He is this world he's a part of.
So we've stumbled across a true local.
The shadow, where he stands, even the light of Peregrine's blade is not fully illuminating. The darkness is being eaten by his presence.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything to him, just shaking my head. No, I do not feel a call to this nightmare.
What if I'm sure the light bearer. I never thought I would see the like here. This is the first light this realm has seen ever.
I have no calling to this place,
What of
though I know
the
who it's
wolf,
attached to.
who is a man, but not a man?
Miguel just shakes his head.
So at
And
least you are somewhat sane. I find that a good thing. So you seek your friend. He's trapped by one who's tried to call this land his own, and though this pocket may be his, this land is older than him. It will be here after he leaves. It will be here forever. His darkness is the only thing that is truly eternal. You wish to find him. I am feeling charitable. And when he says it slowly, the echoing voices of all the things drag it out even longer. Almost like, and it gives you a chill up your spine.
Elena does not flinch.
What will you offer me if I help you, if I serve as a guide?
What could a being like you even desire?
That is a smart question. There are times I desire much. There are times I desire to touch upon your world. There's times I've walked upon your world when the moon is dark. I am the source of all those things that you dare not step into in the night. I am the one who comes from under the bed and snatches the nobleman while he sleeps. What could you give me?
Exactly.
You are much like the other here. I can feel the hint of shadow in you. I can feel the touch of it. Only a bare glimmer, only a slight bit.
Yes, I don't dwell in it too much.
That is smart. Many of your kind have thought to master this. And did you know what the final result always is?
They go mad.
They find when you let the shadow inside, it consumes them. It becomes them. Only one has escaped that fate so far. He is the one your clan is named after. He was the first to walk our lands. So, thank God, this is my riddle. What can you give me, the creature of darkness? Riddles are a powerful thing in the dark. They're important.
That's going to be a Peregrine special because she's got the intellect for it.
What am I rolling?
Go ahead if you want to try to think on it. Intelligence, I don't know, occult always sounds great.
I will do it with...
I have 2 in enigmas.
That's a good one.
Oh, do I have enigmas? I think I do. I have 1 in enigma. I'll do wits enigmas because I have 1 in enigmas. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to surge intelligence.
Okay.
4.
Since Homeboy here has shown up, have all the other random shadow horrors like pulled away, or are
No.
they still off in the distance?
They're still there. Because the way it is, all you see is the blackness. You're not even sure you're actually seeing it. It's a hint, a fragment, always at the edge of your vision, never right where you're looking at. It is as disturbing as it can be.
And aside from the stone pillars and floor, there hasn't been like a solid barrier to anything,
No.
has there? Ooh. Hate this place.
While you're thinking on this, this is but one little piece of this realm. Each master carves out their chunk. They build it, or they find it. They claim it as theirs. But it is a piece of the land. It is not the whole. The whole is where my kind walk. 7.
I got 6 because I re-rolled the 1 with a willpower.
It would raise the question. The only thing that you might be able to do might involve that mirror.
When was the last time that darkness saw its reflection?
I do not have a reflection.
What
I
say you
am that
if we
which
give
does
you the
not-
mirror that got us here?
Oh, you came in a mirror.
Yes.
Aye.
And even my reflection was in it, and I don't typically have one.
That
You still haven't changed in the past several hundred years. You look magnificent.
Thank you.
that is a thing in which they've captured this realm.
Mm-hmm.
We give you that in exchange.
I do not need the mirror,
You need it destroyed.
but I would ask that the mirror be shattered,
Not a problem.
and I would ask that the pieces be spread amongst the world,
Not a
to
problem.
the corners of the earth. Send them across the land. Do not keep them
Okay.
together.
That can be done easily.
We have an accord.
An accord. We
Aye.
have an arrangement. We do not do
Okay.
accords here. My word is good.
Tis
For
mine
this
as well.
meeting, whether if I met you again, we would still have an accord would depend on the circumstances and whether I feel like opposing.
So
Question.
Miguel is still in wolf form, so it comes out like a growl. But I mean, if we destroy the mirror, we're not going to see you again because we won't be able to get back in here. So
We have to get out to destroy the mirror. I'm thinking he's going to let us out.
he's saying this to
Yeah.
Oh,
So if everything goes, if you get us out with our boy, then we'll smash the mirror and you'll never see us again.
I
And I mean,
will.
we're having a court at this moment.
I will
not
see
in
you
future.
again.
Mm.
You can bet. Not now. Maybe not even here. But we will meet. That is what made me wonder. That is why I asked the questions. That is why I approached you. Because I feel it. This is but the first meeting. In another time, in another place, we will cross paths again.
Do you have a name?
Names don't exist here. Though many have called my kind the umbiferous men,
Hmm.
I am not the only one. I am one of the more pleasant of the denizens here. Most others don't talk to people. Most others are monsters with no intelligence. I have manifested something else. I can think in my darkness.
Then let us go find our friend so we can deliver your payment.
If you would be so kind, Lightbearer, please half sheath the blade. You will still be able to see, but you are drawing attention that I may not be able to help you from.
He'll do it.
Already,
Half it. Half it.
already the mouths move. The vortexes are drawing closer to pull you into the stone, to eat you. We must move.
Aye, let's move now.
And storyteller, is there any way for me to get a sense of, is he just annoyed that the light is here? Is he actively uncomfortable with it? Or is it just like,
He
oh,
won't
that
step
thing?
closer than the very edge of the light.
That's
And
good
his
for
eyes have
multiple
never
reasons.
flicked directly to the blade.
It seems to hurt him.
Okay, so it's at the very least uncomfortable.
And he turns his back to you and starts to walk. And you notice as he's walking, he is walking. He's not floating. His feet are touching the floor, but his body doesn't move like the floor is substantial to him. Most people, when they walk, their head slightly moves up and down with each step. His doesn't. It is a constant. And most of the time, the bandages and his cloaks flutter in the direction he's moving, not the direction behind him.
Do we feel any breeze at all?
There's nothing, no
Nothing.
breeze, nothing.
It's just like it's just oppressive.
Yes, we're trapped in the void.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's
Ugh.
walking, he stays at the edge of the light, doesn't look back, doesn't seem to have to look back as he walks through this cavern. And he takes you across into a stone tunnel. This one is natural by all means. It doesn't look carved. It's not perfectly smooth. It is a rough, it almost looks like a mouth as you step into it. Stalactites and stalagmites, very short, almost like small teeth,
Mm-hmm.
as he draws you further in. And he comes to a spot where to you, all you see is the darkness, as you've all seen it, but he stops at a set point. The place you seek is beyond this. I will not step through here. This is the heart of his lair. This is where the one who claims this place holds as his own. This is where his ritual was enacted.
Do you know his name?
No. Names are not important.
Names
Only the
power.
voices matter. The voices of every soul lost here matters.
Mm. Well, thank you for guiding us. And as soon as we secure our friend and leave, we will destroy the mirror and scatter the pieces, as you instructed.
If you destroy the one who controls this, you should be able to return to where you came, using his altar. But as long as his will holds this place,
We will not escape.
you will not escape.
Understood.
Also understand, even after you break his hold on this place is forever ours.
Of course.
It could be reformed, reclaimed by another. But that is a fact of this world. That is how this works. I have fulfilled my end of the bargain.
You have. My thanks.
Do not forget to fulfill yours, or our meeting will be sooner than you would expect.
It will be done, as agreed.
I bid you walk the path of darkness.
And Elena does.
And all the voices repeat him. But some of them are crying now. Some of them are not. Some of them are laughing. But it is not a sane laugh. It is the madness of the souls who had been trapped here all these years. And as he looks to you, he looks one last time with those yellow eyes peeking from the bandages. And then he steps to the wall and he touches it. And you realize the walls to him are not solid.
Mm-hmm.
He pushes through it and steps away.
And Elena looks and says, well, let's go get him.
Hell yeah.
And she walks into the darkness.
As you step forward, the light of this sword that Peregrine is carrying, it flares briefly. And you find yourself in a stone room. Hand-carved blocks around the whole room. No other doors leading in or out. Stone altar in the center of the room that you can barely see by the way the light flared from the sword, though the darkness is still extremely heavy, extremely difficult to deal with. And chained to this altar is Augustine, his eyes wild. And the first words he says as you step in is, "You've tried this trick on me already. I know they're not here."
Hush now, brother. I am here.
And this is where we end this episode, everybody. This is it. Season 2, episode 8. 2 more episodes left. They have been to an oubliette, to the source of abyss mysticism, to the lair of an abyss mystic. Not many Canaanites ever get to walk there, and not many Canaanites, well, live to tell the tale of being there. But many who have been here are never the same when they come out. The question will be, well, will these Canaanites escape without the lingering effects or not? And I'd like to thank my players, you the viewers. XP this time. I will give everyone 3 XP for this episode. This is, well, for Elena, It's a disturbing look at where her powers actually come from, though I don't think she'll ever go that route.
The power did tempt her briefly.
But
it's intense, but
it is.
No.
And most Lasombra know you are to use the darkness, but make sure it never uses you.
Exactly. And that's why she's like, I feel you, but no.
And this is not a place that can avoid using you.
Mm-hmm.
So please, everybody, join us on our Discord if you're wondering where the cast of this show comes from. It is from our Discord. Ravnos Archon will be back next week as Augustine. He will be on the stone altar where he has spent, well, does time flow the same here as everywhere else? Most likely. But at the same time, you do know at this point, you've probably been here long enough. It is daylight outside.
Yeah.
And yet, you are not sleeping.
Right. Because the sun doesn't touch here.
The sun has never touched here.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is anathema to this place.
Mm-hmm. So, catch up on our back episodes on YouTube. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, pop to the playlist. But if you're here on Twitch, go to our YouTube channel, back episodes, so you're aware. We simulcast this on both channels. The VOD is always up. It'll be up for 60 days on Twitch. We do not subblock anything. It's always open. So if you want to watch it there, the one on YouTube, I will leave up until I upload the episode, and then I hide the simulcast because the edited version's better, where we cut the break out and we cut the intro movie trailers out. So if you're watching this on YouTube but you want to catch it later, watch for the edited one that cuts out the break music and the movie trailers, because we have to fight YouTube a lot less that way, because we have to always argue with them over our licensed music that they claim we don't license, even though we do. So you want to check out some amazing content creators, one of which is at the table, one of which is out. We'll get to them in a second. You'll get a chance to do that. You can get you some studio merch at our merch store, which is Zazzle.com store McStabber_studios for those on YouTube. So you can catch it there. Let's see. You want to give something to the players? So you know, bits and donations, they go to the players. Thank you earlier tonight, P. Dorat, or Aardvark as we know it. He gave 1,000 bits tonight at the start of the stream, so thank you very much for that. I didn't catch if anyone else did because I'm busy running the game, but he gave it during the intro. So just to let you know, thank you. Let's see. If you want to give to the studio, subscribe on Twitch. You can pop over to our KoFi. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and like the video, comment on the video, especially the actual one, the edited one, the actual upload. Hit the notification icon. We put a lot of effort into trying to make our show engaging, and everybody involved, both the players and storyteller, and Lynn and I as producers put a lot of work into this. So every little bit to everyone involved helps. I think I've said my part. Yes, I have. I could turn it over to my lovely wife.
All right. So coming up over the next week, or didn't you want people to talk about where they are?
I do that before the mental health.
Oh, okay. Okay, so coming up over the next week, thank you everyone for joining us for Dark Ages tonight. Tomorrow there's no stream because we have finished Old Gods of Appalachia for now, although there is a current casting call in our Discord for both Old Gods of Appalachia, run by Shanky, and for Changeling the Dreaming, run by Maddox here. He's going to be making his streaming debut as an ST on our channel soon.
So you're aware on the
I'm not
Old
stressed,
Gods,
you're stressed.
On the Old Gods casting call, I had set it up originally to run for the month. I will be closing it this Friday because we've gotten enough applicants that
enough
responses that
do apply if you want to play it.
If you want to play it, apply before Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to close it early so that I don't have the agony of trying to pick from too many people at once. So get it in before Friday.
Yeah. But on Friday, we have at 8 p.m. Eastern, Vampire the Masquerade V5, Kansas City, A Domain Divided. And House will be back. He'll be joining us. His character, Bo, the Toreador, will be joining us in Kansas City from Milwaukee, where his sire took him. So we're excited to have House back at the table after his little bit of leave he had to take and get his story started with us. So yeah, we're dealing with Sabat shenanigans up in this place, and it's just insane.
Yeah, he gets to get read in all the bad shit that's going on so far.
Yeah, it's going to be like 20 minutes of just catching him up to all the bullshit. But
occasionally you take breaks to beat your head against a wall and then wait for it to heal back. All right, let's continue.
Yeah. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Join us at 8 p.m. Eastern when we have House back with the crew from Kansas City. Saturday, I believe Tiss is back.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, Dr. Tiss will be back with Call of Cthulhu 7E London Esoteric Society. I have no idea who's playing.
Well, Urani is now officially a member of the cast, so.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he is.
Yay!
So if you liked Roscoe and Windy City, he's now playing Call of Cthulhu.
He's now playing
with Tiss and the crew.
With Tiss and the crew. So join him on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern as the team of investigators investigate all the sus shit around circa 1900 and around the London, England area. So yeah, should be fun. And I don't know if we're going to do a marathon Sunday or not.
I have to decide. I've got, for those that don't know, my CISSP exam is on Tuesday.
Yeah, we might be putting that on pause right now until he takes his
this weekend is the last weekend to cram for the CISSP exam.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know about the CISSP exam, it is a anywhere from 3 to 6 hour long adaptive test exam for computer security.
That sounds like
it's
nerd
brutal.
awards.
It is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to finish and make sure that I'm ready for my CISSP exam because the exam was $750 to take it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we're probably not going to run a marathon on Sunday, but that's okay. It'll pick up after he takes his exam next week. He'll run one the following Sunday.
Hopefully I pass it.
And hopefully,
if my rings would let me cross my fingers.
Yeah, hopefully he'll pass it. I have confidence, but because he's really been diligent about studying for it. So, but Chad's saying best of luck to you. But yeah, so definitely that, and then of course on Wednesday, join us back here for more Vampire Dark Ages as Ravnos Archon rejoins us and we rescue his fucking ass.
Or not, or you die. One of the two.
Or we die, but you know what?
2 episodes left.
Elena's royally fucking pissed.
2 episodes left.
Hey, we've got a glow stick dagger. We're fine. Oh, sword, sorry.
By the time you're done this place, will probably be used up.
Hey, it served its purpose.
Served its purpose.
Mm-hmm. So
it's a one-trick pony. Let's use it to death, okay?
Yep. So before I go into the mental health thing that we always end these streams on, Miguel, also known as Zach Rules. Zach, tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on. I know the Dead Bird app. Go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah. So I can be found at my website, zachrules.com. I can be found on the BS site at zachrules.com as well. Funny how that works out. I can be found on the Dead Bird at Zach Rules, and I can be found on the Ancient Elephant site at Zach Rules at dice.camp. If you would like to see me in a rare in-person out in public thing, I will be at Save Against Fear Con Friday and Saturday. If you are in the area of York, Pennsylvania, if you want to go to a TTRPG con that raises money for a good cause, hit it up.
Okay, Junie, what you got going on?
Well, actually, I will be seeing Ravnos Archon tomorrow on his channel for 7C because we're going back to that. Yay! We had a whole month off. Now we're going back. We're only having 1 episode this month and then 1 episode in December. So please check it out. It's actually kind of fun game to play. Plus, he'll be alive tomorrow, so that will be cool. I am actually running my own vampire thing on Saturday where the young puppies are trying to find out what the fuck is going on in Chicago. We never know. It's a thing, you know? But I think we're going on a field trip to Joliet, so come down to see where I lived. In real life. It's kind of scary. DC by Nights on Sunday. And then we are right back here on Wednesday. So Ravnos Archon minus the RPG table, the roll call, and back here. Yay!
And Snatcher, go ahead and tell people where you're not.
Where I'm not is apparently safe. Where I am is crying in a non-existent shadowy corner as I do my best not to piss myself out of fear. This is now the second alternate dimension Snatcher has stepped into. He's not happy.
I'm playing Elena because based on her special things on the character sheet that are related like to her path and stuff, she is maxed out in courage. So I'm playing her that way. She is courageous. She doesn't always think all the way through.
You are it is a land that lays with yours. The two are linked directly.
The light and the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They are part of the same world.
But why wouldn't my shit work?
Because you couldn't push the shadows away. The shadows here are stronger than your ability to
I was
wield.
talking about my Kudunik. If it's attached to the world, it should have felt
Because
the
though it is attached to the world, this is not your world.
Mm.
This is not your land.
It's also not technically land at all.
He claimed this domain. He claimed this pocket.
Yeah.
This slice.
I got you.
As the Umbiferous Man said, this is a slice of its own realm. This Abyss Mystic has claimed part of it, which brought it into being here. But it's part of a larger world that's not yours.
Mm-hmm. But to quote Eddie Izzard, does he have a flag?
Oh, you'll have to see.
Ah, damn.
Yes, it is a black shield on a field of black.
That tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Well done.
Or an obsidian shield on a field of obsidian. There we go. Yep.
Mother trucker, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Foiled again.
So, as always, everybody, when we end these streams, I want to tell you mental health. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Take the mental health of yourself. Take the mental health of others around you. Please check in on those around you. We're going into the holiday season, and it's a rough season for a lot of people. A lot of people feel the stress every holiday, whether it's the financial stress that comes with the holidays or family stress. Some people want to see their family and can't. Some people don't want to see their family and have to. Any way you look at it, it brings stress at this season. So please check in on those around you. And if you suffer from mental health issues like many of us do, first of all, it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help once in a while. We all need help once in a while. But reach out to your own support network. Reach out to those around you. Try to get some help from them. But if you can't, because I know a lot of people feel they can't, in chat's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can actually have somebody on the other end of the line who will help you out and will get you support you need, a professional, talk you off that ledge. And if you're not in the U.S. or you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to findahelpline.com. You can put in your country of origin and you can find out the help networks in your country because, listen, everybody, mental health is health. It's the stigma that goes with it is horrible and it shouldn't be there. And we got to take care of ourselves, both physically and mentally. It's a complete package. It's a subject very important to me. So I'm going to let my wife say her part. By the way, big thumbs up to Ohio. Ohio, you did it.
And Virginia.
Well, Ohio for issue 1 and 2.
Yeah. And Virginia, you told Glenn Youngkin to pound fucking sand. And all the freaking local elections where like Moms for Liberty were running for school board shit and they got just smacked. I mean, smacked.
Yeah, the Karen clan got their asses beat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's worse than that. They're a hate group. But
yeah.
Yeah. The Karen clan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're really bad. They're really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all so much. And I get it. I myself am not even a diehard Democrat. I'm really not. I am much more left than Democrat. All right. But I know that the GOP literally hate me because I'm a woman. And I'm not voting for that.
As I
being so female.
As
Yeah,
I
I know,
reposted from another Discord I'm on, one I share with Caliselva. I reposted earlier today. Look, I may not agree with Democrats. I may be disappointed. I may even, if you ask me about them, I may say I'm not happy with what they're doing, but I'll still walk over broken glass barefoot to vote for their candidates because the other party wants to kill those that are important to me in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's why it's real important when I say to vote blue. I'm not saying it because I'm a diehard Democrat, y'all. I'm saying it because literally the other party wants a lot of people to be stripped of all their rights and in mortal danger. So please, 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 please. And the GOP is legit going straight fascist. Look at Project 2025. Seriously, it's really bad. So, but anyway, thank you all. And make sure that if you didn't have an election in your state, check your registration if you are already registered, because literally multiple Republican states were purging voter rolls just before the elections. They're literally doing election interference. I really want that freaking voting bill to pass. I know it won't while the GOP run the House, but the John Lewis voting rights bill amendment, basically, it needs to pass because that shit would start getting investigated thoroughly and that shit would stop. But yeah, so literally make sure you're registered. If you're not, re-register, please, so that you are ready to go for 2024. Because we are not done. Every seat in the House is coming up for election.
And please contact your representatives. Tell them to do their fucking job and pass a fucking budget.
Tell them to pass a budget and tell them to immediately demand a ceasefire.
I am about to, next week, we're about to run out of funding again, which means I'm about to not get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So
pass a budget. Immediately demand a ceasefire.
Yep.
Today, staffers on the Hill walked out.
Yep.
Because they've been fielding calls constantly from constituents requesting for a damn ceasefire. And the politicians don't care. Keep doing it.
Yep.
Keep doing it.
So I do thank everyone for coming. I can't wait for next episode. We'll see how well Ravnos Archon plays a little bit maddened by this place. Good night, everybody.